to reduce some axle weights on some of our weaker pavements. So again, our goal is to look at those and try to work projects into building that system out. The last sheet in the handout is representation of our bridge restriction map. And I think we're in pretty good shape there. So there's not a lot of restrictive bridges on our 431-mile highway system, nor some of the township road systems, but those are all factors in putting together the CIP. So in addition to those factors, of course, we look at bridge needs and safety needs and maintenance needs and drainage needs and pavement condition indexes and a whole sort of factors to come up with the proposed plan. So I think at this point I would again plan to go through year by year and just touch on what we've seen on February 3rd. There were some very minor funding adjustments since that time. A couple projects got bumped up and bumped down from our last CIP, which was approved in November of 2013. I think there is one project that did get moved out of the CIP. It's been moved into a maintenance plan, and I can talk about that later. But for 2015 and in our current budget, we're ready to deliver 3 bridges, 2 safety projects, and 4 pavement rehabilitation projects. And I'm just going to make this very brief. I think it might be important for the audience to have a chance. So moving on into 2016, we have 3 eligible bridges identified. 2 of those are on the township road system. Then we move into a major reconstruction project on County Road 46. And we also have our reconstruction project with the city of Northfield, the Woodley Street project, currently programmed for 2016. Moving into 2017, we have 3 bridges identified. Those are currently not eligible for replacement, but as we continue to inspect those structures and monitor them, we're anticipating certainly they will become eligible, and staff will continue to work on those, so those are moving forward. And we show 3 projects. One is a rural reclaim. The second project listed is essentially looking at the resurfacing of Dundas, all of the county roads within the municipal boundaries of Dundas, or a large extent of them. And this might be a good time to point out that the 2015 projects are certainly well designed at this point, and in fact they're getting ready to be advertised. 2016 projects are in intermediate stages of design. 2017 projects have been identified, but no real design work has been undertaken. So while we show resurface County Road 1, 20, and 8 in Dundas, that's not a statement that we're going to resurface every square yard of those roads within that community. You know, things will be adjusted as necessary as we get closer to the delivery dates of all of these projects. And certainly, as you would suspect, as we get way out in the latter years of a 10-year plan, those projects are identified, but I think they're realistically subject to adjustments as needs and priorities change. The third project listed in 2017 is proposed reclaiming a portion of County Road 8. That's the east-west segment, basically east of the interstate. In 2018, we show 2 more bridges. Again, we're working on those, preparing to deliver those when they become eligible. We have reconstruction of additional segments of County Road 1. We started that project actually due to the complexity and the level of service that route will provide. And then we have another County Road 46 reconstruction shown. And again, we're working with the Flying J up there regarding access and safety issues. We have a reclaim project as well in 2018 in the Northfield, Dundas area. In 2019, 2 more bridges. Again, they're not eligible right now, but we continue to monitor those, so we'll be moving forward with those. We show 3 other projects. County Road 98 is on the Steele County line. This would be an example. I would point out that this one may fall out of our construction program, and maintenance may be able to do some heavy maintenance work on it and then extend the life of that so we could take it out of construction. We'll see how that works. We're going to try a few new tactics on some of those types of roadways. So again, this is 5 years out from today, 4 years out. You know, it may get adjusted. Improvements in Vesely regarding the drainage, and County Road 19 east-west connector in the southeast part of the county over to the back way to Kenyon, as everybody talks about that route. In 2020, we don't have any more bridges that we feel comfortable putting in there now, so from here on out there will be no bridges identified. We show a County Road 46, that's up to the Dakota County line. And then we show 4 other reclamation projects. These are not reconstruction. These are where we mill off the pavement and reclaim the existing base, and then we repave. 4 projects across the county. Similarly, in 2021, we have County Road 8 south out of Dundas. That is proposed to be reconstructed. We have an intersection on County Road 8 and Trunk Highway 3. We look at safety funding and some other funding mechanisms perhaps to help defray our costs for that. And County Road 4 in Lonsdale, there's a segment that's in need of reconstruction. We also show 3 other reclaim projects throughout the county. In 2022, we have 2 short segments of gravel roads that we would anticipate by that time the service volumes out there will make it reasonable to look at reconstructing and paving those. One is actually the access into McCullough Park. That could almost be viewed as a safety project due to the volume of dust and the congestion associated with the usage of the McCullough Park facility. In paving in 2022, we have a project in front of the junior high middle school in Faribault. That would be a cooperative project with the city. We show County Road 6 in the northwest corner of the county needing attention at that point in time. In 2023, we show 3 projects, essentially all reclamation. And in 2024, we added, essentially this is the year we're adding to our last 10-year CIP. So we've identified needs within the city of Faribault. County Road 18 runs 2 miles through Faribault. We'll start discussions with the city regarding the exact scope of those type of improvements. And then we show a segment of County Road 45 down through the railroad overpass and the southern portion of County Road 45 as it exits into Steele County. Having flown through all of that, maybe now is the opportune time to open the mic up if the board wishes.
Any questions of the commissioners, comments? If not, we'll open it up to the public. Anybody who would like to speak or have questions on the proposed 10-year CIP, come on up.
The mic's not working. It's hard to hear people too.
Morning.
Note.
Sure.
Commissioners and board, let's get a little one up here. Dennis is a little bit taller than I am. Commissioners and board, I'm John McCarthy, City Administrator for the City of Dundas. I'm here because of a resolution that the Dundas City Council passed last night, and just wanted to pass that information on to the board. The council wants to thank the board and Rice County Engineering Department specifically for the interest they're spending in the reconstruction of County Road 1, and the resolution basically is designed to indicate the support for the rebuilding and hope that the that as you go, or not rebuilding, the reconstruction, I guess, as you go through the reconstruction, some of the concerns that the council feels are really important in that area are addressed, and we believe that they are being looked at very seriously. But just want to remind everybody of what the city of Dundas's concerns are. We have also met with Northfield, and the city of Dundas has met with Northfield, some staff members and members from Bridgewater Township. All of these entities are affected by that section of County Road 1. It is, we thank the county for recognizing that it is a very unique county road in that it is not in any specific city. The road itself is almost all in the county, but it is bordered and accessed by residential areas in the city of Dundas, commercial residential areas in the city of Northfield, commercial areas in the city of Dundas, and residential areas in Bridgewater Township. It also connects two trunk highways, Highway number 3 and 246. Right now, it serves over 100 homes in Bridgewater Township who have their only access to the greater community is through County Road 1 in that area. Currently serves 125 homes, newly constructed homes in Bridgewater Heights, the new addition to Bridgewater, or new addition to the city of Dundas. There are over 200 lots left in that area to be developed. Plus, there's an annexation agreement with Bridgewater Township to further develop along County Road 1. As I mentioned before, it serves major commercial areas in both communities. Access to those commercial areas along Highway 3. It also serves some major public institutions that serve a large portion of Rice County, including the newly constructed Northfield Area YMCA and Northfield School System with schools from elementary through high school. There's also a very serious concern, since it is an urbanized area, that non-motorized transportation should be considered during the reconstruction of this very important portion of the county road system. One of the things that the council is asking, or a couple of things that the council is asking especially, is that as you plan for the future and as you plan this road, that the right-of-way be very seriously looked at as far as the future expansion. This area has potential of becoming very highly developed in the next 30 to 50 years, which is, I think, very important to the county. And one of the concerns I think council has had and other people have had is that this is the time to plan for that expansion, so you don't run into a county road or a 42 system as it occurs up a little bit further north of us. The other thing is there are some serious intersections that have to be considered, and I think the intersection, especially with Highway 246, and we know that your folks are very seriously involved in this. You have set up a scoping process. Your engineering department has set up a scoping process, and we really appreciate that. But I think that that intersection is going to be a serious problem in the future, and I encourage you next year when your engineering comes back, if there are some additional costs or whatever that are going to be needed for this road, to very seriously consider that, because it is, we understand that it is an expensive road, but it's also a very important road to the county and to the whole system. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else from the public? Come on up.
Good morning. I'm Kathleen Dora Norton. I'm chair of the Bridgewater Township Board. I want to affirm what Mr. McCarthy said. I also want to say that I was really pleased to hear from Dennis Luby a couple of weeks ago that his staff is going to be looking at all of the roads within the county, and wanted to point out that in this plan, I haven't looked at all of the new additions from this morning, but at least $10 million is being spent on roads that have sometimes significantly less traffic on them than Decker Avenue in Bridgewater Township. Decker was identified as a road that ought to be in the county system 12 years ago. It has 500 cars per day on it. And as the highway department looks at the county road system, I would hope that you would consider that what your past plans have been. It is within the Northfield and the Dundas annexation areas. It's an area of further growth, and so as you look forward in your planning, I hope that you all will consider that road. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public here wishing to speak on this? If not, we'll bring it back up to the commissioners for discussions. Motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Malika, second by Commissioner Gillen to approve the 10-year CIP program. Any questions, discussions? Go ahead, Jeff.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I think our immediate plan next couple of years is pretty solid, and obviously, as we go on here, why things can change and probably will change. And, well, I'm sure they will change if you start looking out 10 years. Why I'm sure there's going to be additions in there somewhere or other, and maybe projects switching around and put off and brought up or whatever as deemed necessary. So I think I would hope that's a fairly good summary of the capital improvement plan right now.
Well, that's correct, Commissioner. I think what I'm sure that, or I believe we're intending to have annual updates. So on a relatively frequent basis, we will be revising and looking at the entire plan and making future presentations where we can adapt to the needs you just talked about.
Okay, go ahead, Jake.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To make a plan for 10 years seems a little extravagant, but we have to do that. It's the first couple of years out of the chute that are pretty much cast in stone as to what's going to happen. Like Commissioner Dawkins said, there's going to be some rolling in and some rolling out depending on the need. I said that's kind of the driver here is the need. So, yeah, we have to put that longer plan together, and it's like with any business, I said, the longer you go out, the more questionable some things are, but if you got to put one together that makes sense, and this does make sense. So, I think this is good for right now. So.
Go ahead, Galen.
I agree, it's a good plan, and we know things are gonna change, and as you said, we'll review it every year, so we have that ability to be able to change things. But I do wanna thank you for working with, in my district, I know you do in the other districts as well, with the city of Northfield, the city of Dundas, and Bridgewater Township on your planning of some of the projects that are going through their communities, the municipalities, so that is greatly appreciated. And I think they greatly appreciate that as well, to be able to have a voice at the table when we're doing projects in those areas.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, we have closed the public hearing on the proposed 10-year CIP. We have a motion on the table by Commissioner Malika, second by Commissioner Gillen to approve the 10-year CIP for the Highway Department. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go back to environmental services with some more information from Julie Runkle.
I'm sorry, Sorry about that. I'll give you a second to read those minutes, but I do want to put in a plug for our new board software, because this would have been uploaded on Friday, and you would have had the whole thing.
You have copies for the public too? Yep. Okay, thank you.
Has everybody had a, had a chance to finish this? Jake, can we proceed with Julie?
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Julie.
So what we're looking for today is two actions. One is adoption of resolution number 15010, which is amending the Rice County zoning ordinance to add the urban reserve industrial district and the specific development standard changes. Planning Commission did recommend approval of this as well.
Any questions? Go ahead, Commissioner Malika.
Can you give a brief description of what this is all about?
Sure. This again, if you recall, adds the urban reserve district to chapter 518, which allows for some areas to have some manufacturing as well as warehousing, some other uses that were defined in the highway commercial, although this is intended for those that are not water intensive and are compatible until it's determined that it's economically and financially feasible to extend city services out there. Again, the area that we're currently looking at for the rezone is an area that's slated for City of Faribault to extend services to at some point in the future.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
So is that the area north of Faribault? Is that what we're talking about?
Correct.
Okay.
It's the 155 acres, and that's actually the second item. I can define that area a little bit more for you. Certainly, other land in the future could propose to be rezoned, much like any other district that we have. However, again, the intent of this is that it is to receive city services in a not too distant future. So they do definitely have to be not water intensive at this time and compatible with the area.
Any other questions? Comment?
I'll move to adopt resolution 15-10.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Motion by Commissioner Dockin, second by Commissioner Gillen to adopt Resolution 1510 amending the Rice County zoning ordinance to add the urban reserve industrial district with specific development standards. Go ahead, Gail, now.
So, this affects 155 acres, it doesn't affect the other, but they can come in the future to,
This particular resolution is only amending the zoning ordinance. The next one will be the rezone portion of it.
I'll ask then at that point.
Okay, any other questions or comments? If not, we'll vote on this motion on the table. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on.
Then the second piece of this is adoption of resolution number 15011. This is amending the zoning map to add urban reserve industrial district. And currently, in your packet, there were several maps showing this area that is before you right now for rezone. It's approximately 155 acres. Again, this is less than a mile from the city limits. It is currently zoned highway commercial. It is slated in the city of Faribault's plan to be an industrial park in the future, and it is along I-35. So again, it's just that 135 acres that is north of town at this particular time,
155?
approximately 155 acres.
Okay. I thought you said 135. I'll turn my
Sorry.
up a little bit.
So the planning commission did recommend approval of this as well, and the resolution in your packet is 15011.
Can you pop up a map of it, or not available at this time for the public's view?
Not without logging in and all that.
Okay.
I mean,
Copies of the maps are available.
Or we could point it out on that map up there.
I mean, if you want me to, I can.
Can you point
Mr.
it
Chair,
out?
if I,
Go ahead.
I think we can generally describe it as the land around the Metcon facility, north of the city of Faribault, and includes the Malta Meal Warehouse that's there too,
And it's on both sides of the road.
That
on both,
is-
on
Yeah.
both sides of
We
that
have-
service
There are
road.
maps available too.
Yes, the board packet, the maps were in the board packet.
Okay. Any other questions? Discussion? Motions?
Move to approve resolution 1511.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion to approve Resolution 1511, and a second by Commissioner Gillen. Any discussion on the motion? If not, we'll vote. All those in favor of adoption of Resolution 1511, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, administration with our administrator, Tony Murphy.
Commissioners, all I have for you this morning is the adoption of the consent agenda.
So move approval of the consent agenda?
Second?
We have a motion by Commissioner Gillen and a second by Commissioner Malika to adopt the consent agenda. Any discussion? If not, we'll vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
So move to adjourn?
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Malika, second by Commissioner Gillen to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. We stand adjourned. Thank